So I've been using the Nord Buds 3 Pro for some time now, and they've been basically that silent overachiever, no hype, no drama, just quietly really good. Then the Nord Buds 4 Pro showed up. And this feels less like a routine update and more like OnePlus going, okay, let's actually clean this up. But should you actually buy these new Nord Buds over the older ones, especially now that they are about 1000 rupees more expensive? Let's break it down, but before that, if you like no-nonsense tech comparisons like this, make sure to hit like and subscribe. Put them side by side and yeah, it looks familiar. OnePlus hasn't flipped the table on design or anything. The Buds 3 Pro already had a compact oval case that just disappears in your pocket, which I genuinely liked. The 4 Pro keeps that idea but tightens it. Slightly smaller, lighter and just cleaner. It's the kind of change you don't notice on a spec sheet, but the moment you pick it up, you feel it. Same story with the earbuds. Still that familiar stem design, but now it's a bit longer and slimmer. And surprisingly, that tiny tweak actually fixes one of my issues with the 3 Pro. Because with those, I did have to adjust the fit every now and then. Not a deal breaker, but noticeable. The 4 Pro just sits better. Less fidgeting, more listening. And in terms of durability, both the Buds 3 Pro and the 4 Pro come with an IP55 rating. So they are equally good when it comes to handling sweat and light splashes. That said, I do wish OnePlus pushed this a bit further, especially on the newer model. One thing I did notice is the case on the Buds 4 Pro feels nicer overall. It now has a nicer matte finish, which makes it feel more premium compared to the Buds 3 Pro. The only downside is that it tends to pick up smudges more easily, which wasn't really an issue with the previous model. Anyway, let's now talk about features because this is where things start to shift. The 3 Pro already had a solid base. Hey Melody app, EQ controls, wear detection, and even dual device connection. All of that is still here, but now finally you get volume control on the earbuds themselves. Basically, swipe gestures. And once you start using that, there's no going back. It just makes everything feel more complete. They've also added onboard AI this time, and this isn't some flashy headline feature, it's actually pretty practical. You can trigger your phone's assistant straight from the Buds, set reminders, check things quickly, even use translation features through the app. It's subtle, but it just adds a layer of convenience which wasn't there before. Touch controls are also just better. On the 3 Pro, they were a bit inconsistent. The 4 Pro feels way more reliable, and the slightly bigger touch area helps. Connectivity also gets a real upgrade. The Buds 3 Pro had Bluetooth 5.0, which was fine, but the Buds 4 Pro moves to Bluetooth 6.0. And you can feel it. Connections are more stable, switching between devices is smoother, and overall, it just feels more modern. Now let's talk about sound, and this is where the 3 Pro really surprised me. That larger 12.4mm driver delivered a really balanced, slightly warm sound. Good clarity, nice separation, especially for the price. I was listening to Paint the Town Red by Doja Cat, and the Buds 3 Pro handled it pretty comfortably. Vocals came through clean, and the bass had enough punch without getting messy. The 4 Pro actually goes slightly smaller with a 12mm driver. On paper, that sounds like a downgrade. In reality, it's the opposite. These are more powerful and better tuned. I tried tracks like Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter and Fiend by Travis Scott, and you can immediately tell the difference. Bass hits deeper but stays tight, and vocals feel more forward and detailed. There's also a bit more breathing room between instruments, which just makes everything sound cleaner. And more importantly, OnePlus fixes a big gap from last time. The 3 Pro didn't support LSDC at all, sticking to AAC and SBC codecs, and that did limit how much you could push audio quality. The 4 Pro comes with LSDC 5.0. So if you've got a compatible phone, you're getting higher bitrate audio, better detail, and combined with spatial audio, things just feel wider. Music, videos, everything has a bit more room to breathe. ANC is probably the biggest jump though. The 3 Pro was already good with up to 49 decibels. It handled everyday noise pretty well. Offices, traffic, that kind of stuff. The 4 Pro pushes this to 55 decibels. And it's not just a number. It actually feels more effective, especially in busier environments like cafes and metro commutes. The outside world fades out more convincingly. Calls are also cleaner now. More mics equals better noise reduction. The difference shows up the most outdoors, where wind and background noise used to mess things up a bit. Battery life was already decent on the 3 Pro, and even now I still get roughly a 4 to 4.5 hours with ANC on, which isn't bad after a year. The 4 Pro pushes things further on paper with up to 13 hours on the Buds and 54 hours with the case. But in real use, with ANC on and volume around 60 to 70%, I was getting closer to about 6 to 6.5 hours on a single charge. which is solid and easily gets you through a full day without stressing. Charging is still reliable, 10 minutes and you're good for hours. So, stepping back, the Nord Buds 3 Pro is still a really solid pair. And if you can find them at a lower price now, they honestly become an even better value. But at a 1000 rupees gap, the Nord Buds 4 Pro starts to justify itself. You're getting better ANC, more consistent controls, improved sound tuning, LSDC 5.0 support, newer Bluetooth, and noticeably better battery life. So this really comes down to what you care about. If you just want great sound at the lowest price, the Buds 3 Pro still make a lot of sense. But if you're okay spending that extra 1000 rupees, the 4 Pro feels like the more complete, future-proof package. It's not a massive leap, but it's a smarter, more refined upgrade. That's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.